MELF.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are you guys doing today? Come on, I think we could be just a little bit louder than that. I said, how are you doing? Now that's more like it. That's what I love to hear. We are Make 'em Laugh Films. We are a cosplay and comedy YouTube channel. We are based on the Space Coast. Yes. Thank you. And we are with our partner, Vera Comics. Vera Comics is our base of operations, our headquarters on the Space Coast, the headquarters of cosplay and comics. Yeah. All right. So without further ado, we're going to talk about our YouTube channel. So we started our cosplay and comedy YouTube channel back in 2008. It was actually first based on at the University of Illinois campus. From there, we made a Dark Knight parody and created our superhero trending themes. I moved to Florida about 2.5 years ago and met all these fine individuals here with me today. We have kept the channel going. We make fun of all DC, all Marvel, pretty much anything you can think of in terms of the fandoms. We will make fun of and make you laugh. Our mission is to provide you with endless laughter week after week. All right, I'm going to introduce our team members. So from your right to left, we have Matthew Kimple. He is here as Neo today, but if you have watched our channel, he most commonly plays Spider-Man. Next on the list is Kyle as Luigi. You may best know him as Superman from our antics. After that is Ramira, here as Raven. She is a master seamstress. She has actually made quite a few of the cosplays that are featured on our channel. She most commonly plays Harley Quinn. And as Rita Repulsa from the Power Rangers, we have Tia. She actually made her Rita costume from scratch. It took several months to complete. She has been stopped non-stop these past few hours for photographs. You can take photos with us after.
Whether you want to or not.
We have Peter Pappas, owner of Vera Comics, and here with us today as billionaire Iron Man. And last but not least, I'm Jason, billionaire Batman and founder of Make 'em Laugh Films. So on behalf of our Make 'em Laugh Films team, we thank you guys for coming to check out our panel today. We love your support. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Now, we're going to open it up to some questions. In our previous panels, we've had people wondering, what's our creative process? What are some of the driving factors that keep us going with the creative juices and such? And I see that we have a microphone back over there, so let us make use of that. So, without further ado, let us get a Q&A line going. Joker, I know you want to get up.
No stampedes, please.
No one listens to player 2.
Yeah, no one likes player 2.
We got a shy group today, very shy. Here we go. Yes?
Have you guys ever thought about doing anything gaming-worthy of funny comedy?
Yes, absolutely. We were actually just discussing this maybe a half hour ago. Maybe a Legend of Zelda parody. Matt, I know you want to do Link, right?
He has a big vocabulary, but I'm going to learn it.
Who's going to play Navi, the annoying one?
My phone does it.
We've also done some Super Mario parody videos. We've done Super Mario Beer Pong and Super Mario Brothers Antics, like different fights in the comic book shop. But yeah, I would love to keep exploring, making fun of different gaming, possibly maybe some Super Smash Brothers fights. We do a lot of fight videos together, some wrestling style videos, WWE style with different steel chairs, so yeah, it'd be an absolute blast to have these different characters from Nintendo or any type of game really just going at it. You guys have anything else to add to the gaming characters?
Kyle.
Why me? I don't know, you said Smash Bros. Smash Bros would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mario Kart we talked about too.
Mario.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart. So there's this entertainment venue called Andretti, and they have different go-kart tracks. So we've been contemplating going there in character to have different Mario Kart type style videos filmed. Maybe we'll bring some shells, some Koopa shells with us.
Make use of that Pikachu suit again, too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One where you're blind and you just run through a crowd.
Yeah, we actually have a full-blown Pikachu mascot costume that we pretty much unveil in public, and yeah, lots of antics with that Pikachu costume. All right, next question.
Hi, Lou. Since the name of this panel is like how to be a YouTube star, a lot of us have shyness, social anxiety, obviously, since nobody's getting to ask some questions. How do you get over that fear of putting yourself in front of the camera and putting yourself out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Believe it or not, I'm actually an introvert at heart. I consider myself to be a shy person, and before I started the channel back in 2008, you know, I didn't really socialize as much as I do now. So really, the YouTube channel and doing different parodies like The Dark Knight, you get to network with a bunch of like-minded people who understand your sense of humor, appreciate the same types of movies, different fandoms, and you just have those conversations that, you know, that you're just passionate about. And then your numbers grow when you continue to bring in other friends in their networks as well to congregate and build a team together. So really, getting to brainstorm different video concepts with like-minded people, I feel that's one of the best ways to get over the social anxiety. You get more used to being in front of the camera over time. I remember back when we filmed that first parody, I actually played the Joker for that one. I was actually kind of self-conscious of being in front of the camera at first, but after maybe 3 or 4 projects, then I didn't even notice the camera anymore. Like right now, I completely forgot that we have this camera rolling there to film our panel right now. So it just really helps you break out of your comfort zone, and it makes you know that there are like-minded people out there who will support you and who sees your passion for these projects and they want to get involved with them. What do you guys have to add to that?
Hang on.
Say just read it.
I can't move very well in this. Like you said, with getting together with like-minded people, I'm very introverted as well, but I do have extrovert tendencies, as I say, where I do like to go out and say hi to people and stuff, and especially in front of the camera. I got so nervous with it. It took us probably about 3 or 4 projects before I started to be able to talk correctly, because he would just wait, and I'm like, I don't know what to say. But after a while, yeah, especially working with people that understand what it takes to stand in front of the camera, what it takes to sit there and do that, it's nice to have people that understand where you're coming from.
Plus practice. Even famous actors will tell you that they had a lot of hard times in the beginning, and it takes a while to get used to the camera. That's all. The more you do it, the better it'll get.
The funny twist on it too is after a while, when everybody gets just comfortable with each other, so when we're filming it and doing stuff, everybody just starts to have a lot of fun. And you kind of, like you said, forget you're actually being filmed. So seeing the parodies, but even more actually watching all the stuff that's cut, the constant like mistakes and goofing around and like the way it turns out. And then when people watch it back, that's hilarious, that's really good. And you get comfortable with that more and more, so then you turns around other times, you just kind of lose your social awareness.
And then stemming off of that, we embrace each other's individuality, the unique qualities of each other's sense of humor that they bring to the table. Like Matt said, if something goes wrong, that actually, in fact, can amplify the video. Say if there's a funny mistake or someone falls down, just adds to the comedy of it. But just leading off of that though, like each person has a different sense of humor, where it pretty much covers the different brands of humor that everyone has in the audience then. Like if it was just me on the channel, it'd probably be a 1/6 of the success that it is. With each person's brand of humor and their ideas that they bring to the table, it just benefits the entire whole and allows people to just on our team to just branch out and feel comfortable with themselves. All right, next question, sir.
So when you're making like a cosplay from scratch, like you did, where would you start out? Like, how would you start creating the ideas and like the materials? Like, what would you gather? I guess the materials to start from scratch.
Well, it depends on the cosplay. This one, for example, the first thing I started out with was the dress, because it was the easiest thing to do, getting the patterns on there, getting what hers looked like, and then I found patterns that were similar, that I didn't have this dress. I had to take parts of a kimono to make the arm pieces here, and then I had to take a different dress to make the ball gown portion of it. With this is mostly foam, and then Mod Podge, paint, and there's actually duct tape on here too. Just kind of hold it all together. But it's just kind of finding pieces in the craft store and seeing what'll fit there. You don't want it to be too heavy, you don't want it to be too bulky, anything like that. Like this is a bicycle helmet that I attached two foam cones to. And it's just kind of finding what you're looking for your cosplay. Like if you're doing armor or anything like that, I suggest the lightest that you can find. And then kind of going from there, what is easier to shape for you, whether it's EVA foam or regular foam, whatever you want to work with. But there's tons of tutorials online that'll help show you step by step different things on how to make them.
Thank you.
All right. Who's up next?
Yeah.
How you doing? Spider-Man.
She would.
The assertive
This round.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
I was wondering about the kind of equipment that you started with for filming and sound and editing and all of that.
All right, the video equipment has come a long way. We actually used to record on tapes using this Sony DVX camera. Recently, this is our third camera that we've used actually. We've upgraded to a 4K Sony camcorder now. Now we have directional mics as well to further improve the audio, as well as we usually use lighting kits to further illuminate, say if we're doing a night shoot for the Justice League parody, because all those parodies are dark and without color, just to amplify our characters then. In terms of editing software, I've kind of found my niche with Final Cut 7. I've actually used that since the beginning. Final Cut 10, it's just not as, I guess, doesn't have all the needs, I would say. They kind of took away a bunch of my favorite features with Final Cut 10. I feel that I could do just a little bit more with that software, so I've just stuck with that for all these years. But yeah, in terms of the quality though, it's a noticeable difference, and this past year especially, I've been wanting to take up the quality. Just all around, from the video footage itself to the audio, as well as the costumes. We've all been pushing ourselves to take the cosplays themselves to the next level too.
Does it cost anything?
Oh yes. Well, luckily I'm Batman.
But I like how all your descriptions that you didn't like describe the whole DC cinematic franchise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
I bet
I could poke fun at my own franchise.
it's pretty easy.
All right, yes sir.
So like I would do my own YouTube channel for a while now. I was wondering, like as far as like content having to be steady, like weekly or even daily, like how do you guys go about having to kind of create a will, keep continually going, just have a new idea every day?
Lots of determination and lots of patience. So in terms of the idea generating aspect of it, it comes very naturally to each one of our members. We each have, we bounce each other with ideas very well. In fact, all of our hangouts, no matter what, always end up with us creating dozens of new video concepts. In terms of executing them, it takes just a lot of energy and a lot of dedication to it. I actually have a full-time job in another realm. I'm a healthcare administrator, 40 hours at least a week dedicated to that. And then this YouTube channel, I treat it like it's my second job. So as soon as I get home from my healthcare job, I put in the hours then into script writing, into video editing, maybe if we're doing orders for some new cosplays, new equipment orders, or just preparing items for conventions such as this. So it's a lot of hard work, but if you have the dedication to it, if it's something that you're passionate about doing, then you don't think twice about putting in all those extra hours, because you know it's going to be worth it in the end, because that's what you love to do. You guys have anything to add to that?
But also off of that, depending on what we're going to film, there are some shows that'll come out. We'll get the different trailers that'll come out, and we go off of those some of the times. But then we also get spin-offs of those, where we're like, oh, that was a really funny shot. Why don't we film an extreme version of that? So we also get ideas for improvisation of scenes, or someone will show up that is in a completely different costume. It would be funny to have them go off against each other. I'm looking at you, Joker. But things like that. There is a lot of improvisation, but we do have a lot of scripted stuff as well.
Yeah, it's really a nice balance of the scripted stuff versus the improv. We always encourage it just to keep it loose. And our recent Justice League parody is actually a great example of that balance of scripted material versus all the improvisation. We actually turned the director, Zack Snyder, into a main character and had a lot of improv work with that. It's probably one of my favorite parodies that we've done so far.
Too much color saturation.
Yeah, there's still too much color saturation in the final product. That was my bad. I should have removed maybe 75% of the color saturation to get to the Zack Snyder level. Right?
Yeah, we were smiling. Not enough goggles.
Yeah.
Not enough guns.
Yeah. Need more guns. Need more goggles to look like, yeah, what's his face? Night Owl. Yeah.
I've got something to add. Well, one thing that really drew me to Jason when I first met him, and then the group afterwards, was he stays in character all the time. And a lot of cosplayers don't do that. They just dress up, and it's cool. But I admired that so much, and I was like, I need to start doing that. And he taught me, never break character until you finish the DVD commentary now. So it's kind of what I do now.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to be J. Jonah Jameson tomorrow. I'm literally not going to stop asking for photos of Spider-Man. It's going to be my demand everywhere I go.
Yes.
So if you guys have photos of Spider-Man, let me know. Tomorrow. Because today I'm going to be like, what are you talking about? Who's Spider-Man? I'm Ben Affleck.
Will there be more kicking Spider-Man?
There will be more kicking Spider-Man. So recently, with Joker here, we filmed these slow motion shots of J. Jonah Jameson getting his retribution on Spider-Man and just beating the heck out of him in slow motion. Hitting him with Daily Bugle newspapers in the face, getting the reactions in slow motion. It's honestly kind of like Jackass 3D in terms of those videos, that series that we're doing.
And he can curl up like a dead spider like nobody else I've ever seen.
He's good at that. He's good at that.
Very true.
One of my favorite things to do.
Captain America, any questions? You look like you have a question.
Did you sign the Accords?
Sign the Accords.
Give me a break.
Language.
But yeah, in staying in character, you get a bunch of other, I guess, unique takes that you wouldn't get otherwise then. Like, shooting past that point, past that established dialogue in the script, you get all these awesome opportunities that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Like, I don't know, say if someone decides to punch Matt again, and he has a funny reaction to that. Like that's going to end up in the final product.
And I'll accidentally kick you in the face.
That happened too, actually. So we did this take, it was like 2 weeks ago, where I was supposed to just trip him. So I was J. Jonah Jameson, he was Spider-Man. I was supposed to just trip him over my foot. Well, on his way down, he does like this cartwheel type of kick and kicked me in the face. And I was pissed for like 30 seconds until I saw the gold that footage was. The footage was as gold as my coat. So I just laughed my ass off and I was like, all right, we're doing this the rest of the day, slow motion shots.
3 hours.
3 hours later.
Killed my battery.
Kill your battery.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I know we have some more questions. Who wants to be the next lucky? Yes?
Why not? Why not?
The Joker. Who let you out of the asylum?
Nobody lets me out. Anyways, so once the filming is done, roughly for, I don't know, your skits run usually a minute, 2 minutes for the short skits. A minute to 2 minutes of footage, like how long does that actually take to edit from start to finish?
For those shorter clips, it could take me maybe a half hour to put it all together, like adding the logo, the annotations, any music or special effects, sound effects. For some of these longer projects though, like the Justice League one that we finished filming, there could be up to 3 to 4 hours of raw footage that I have to go through. So really, it could take an entire day just to sequence all the footage and take out the best takes, then another day just to put all the clips in order, and then another day, maybe 2 days to finalize all that in terms of, all right, maybe color saturation, adding or subtracting the color saturation, special effects, audio effects, the music. Yeah, it could be quite a lengthy process for some of these longer parodies that we do. Probably the longest project that I've done was a Saw parody. It's 3 hours and 18 minutes in length, and I edited that one on and off for several years before that one was finished. So it really just depends on the project, the scope of what we're going for, really. But to keep the momentum going, because in gaining more momentum, I found that you get more subscribers and more spikes in views by regular uploads. My goal is to have 2 videos released per week, and we've been hitting that for the past year, at least 2 videos a week to build more momentum. So if I know that I'm going to be working on a longer project editing-wise, like the Justice League parody, I know that in the editing vault, I can rely on some shorter videos like the videos of Jameson beating up Spider-Man. That'll take maybe 30 minutes only. So I could upload several of those while I work on the more time-intensive projects.
How long would that take the Saw one to upload to YouTube?
Oh, to just upload after yeah. That one took maybe 10 hours to upload. I just let it run overnight pretty much.
Because I was doing a half-hour video and it took about like 4 hours to process it.
Yeah, I think YouTube needs to get its stuff in order to make some extra uploads. It just wastes so much time of you just waiting and waiting and waiting for it to go online.
You know, you just open another tab.
Exactly. I'll open another tab, check Facebook messages, or we go into our group chat. We actually have a Make 'em Laugh Films team group chat. So whenever we're bored, or whenever we just want to have a good laugh, or if we just want to script write in the middle of this chat, we'll just write to each other constantly. So if I know that I'm waiting on something to render or upload, I have them to rely on to keep me entertained or to start working on the next project. We really have a tight-knit group.
It's 10% discussing how to do the projects, and 90% making fun of me. Sometimes in there's memes.
It's like 95% making fun of Matt, but he takes it well.
So it's 95% and 5 work.
Yeah, pretty much.
So is the 5% him getting kicked?
I kicked him back.
You're right, 4.5, my bad.
Jason and I, I'd say for at least a year now, have been planning events at the VR Comics comic shop. And usually when we do have a cosplay event, we get at least 3 or 4 videos out of it, usually. Especially nerd videos. They've been really fun lately. So that helps too. And then we do unboxing videos. We're trying to add that to the repertoire. We kind of just mess around. We stay in character. We don't see too many people doing that, so we're trying to keep that going too.
Yeah, we always look for ways to maximize our times at different events. So we like to do different themed events, like Women in Comics, Batman Day. We have Wonder Woman Day coming up next week, actually. So we like to think of different concepts that we can bang out all in the span of several hours, whether it's a Nerf war, or maybe it's several Wonder Women fighting against each other, or maybe Batman trolling Superman again. So really just filming the entire day to get some more video options in the editing vault. Some just constant work that we can get involved with.
Yes, a Wonder Woman pillow fight will be happening next week.
And actually at some point this weekend we've been planning to do a billionaire pillow fight. We're gonna have some fake money planted in the pillows, and as billionaire Batman and billionaire Iron Man fight each other, money's just gonna fall from above us.
My jacket's made of money.
Yes. Do you have anything else to add to that?
How much money?
Billions.
More than broke Spider-Man has.
You should give us all some grants.
No, just Knox. Why make millions when we can make billions? All right.
How many trees are you cutting for that?
Wait, sorry, I couldn't hear that one.
How many trees are you cutting for that?
Let's just say the Amazonian princess isn't going to have an Amazon to come back to.
She's going to be here Sunday.
That she is. We have another panel on Sunday called Combining Cosplay and Comics, and Wonder Woman will be present. Woo. Woo. Give it up for Wonder Woman. Woo. Yes. We like to have that random applause every once in a while.
Captain America wasn't applauding.
There we go. Yeah. Go Marvel.
Language.
Not. All right, next question, please.
Billy has a question.
So to get that sweet Batman jaw, do you have chewing exercises?
I chew lots of gum, namely Wrigley. I am the official sponsor of Wrigley now.
Smokes a lot of cigarettes to get the voice.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of packs. Not really. Believe it or not, I have a good vocal endurance for this kind of stuff. Any normal person, they lose their voice within like 5 minutes of doing this smoker voice. But I actually used to be a singer in a metal cover band back in college. We covered Rammstein entirely. So yeah, I used to sing in German. Nice random fact.
Do some.
Du hast mich.
Their name was Ich liebe dich.
Ich liebe dich nicht. Well, yeah, what are some of the other things that you guys do to pretty much like stay in character, or some like unique things that, I guess, processes that you guys do to get in character when we film?
Well, Raven's being quiet today.
She's in character.
I like to take a character and make it my own. Recently cosplayed Ray, and Ray's a girl, but I made it a gender bent cosplay, and I talk like Tomater, Larry the Cable Guy, so it's a redneck cosplay. So it's pretty unique, there's nothing else quite like it out there, and I try to do that. I do Green Lantern like a stoner when I do Green Lantern. Because I just figured he'd be the mess up of the group. Superman's majestic, Batman's awesome, and then there's Green Lantern. He's just a mess up who's smoking pot when nobody's looking. Yeah.
And along those lines, I have a question for ourselves. What is your least favorite character to do, and then your most favorite character to do?
My favorite so far has been Rita. Especially when I came out that first time and you heard the voice for the first time.
I lost it. It was so spot on that I was crying behind the camera. Can you give us a demonstration? No. Yes. Thank you. Who wants to hear Rita? What you gotta do?
People of MegaCon! How are you?
Yes. Well done. And then which one is your least favorite to do?
Probably Gwen Stacy, just because you drop her all the time.
She did zombie Gwen Stacy and it was gold. It was hilarious. You have to watch that video.
To give more context to that, I played the Green Goblin as well, and I constantly make spine or back-breaking jokes when she's Gwen Stacy. Yeah, she dropped like a rock, just like the Amazing Spider-Man franchise.
Oh, snap.
Suck it, Sony. All right, Romero, what's your least favorite and most favorite cosplay?
Well, my most favorite would probably be Harley Quinn or Raven. Raven's kind of my spirit animal. I mean, she's so, I'm quiet, bookworm, awesome.
She's a demon.
Yeah. But she's also so powerful, and it's really, I love all of her comics, the Teen Titans and everything. My least favorite would probably be
Ant-Man?
Maybe Levi from Attack on Titan, that's an anime, but for the channel, maybe Black Widow, because it's black and hot.
Oh, yeah.
True that.
Yeah, true that, true that. All right, Kyle.
I know the favorite. I know your favorite.
It's Luigi.
I guess least favorite would be Cyclops. No, I'd have to go with Nightwing. Nightwing's my least. No. It's a tie.
It's not Malcolm?
Wait, actually, I kind of enjoy it.
Just laying on everything
Yeah.
with your shirt
Yeah.
open.
We're gradually filming a Jurassic Park parody, and he does Jeff Goldblum. He does some awesome poses with his shirt wide open.
Just find a table, just lie. But no, I'd say least favorite would be a tie between like Nightwing and Cyclops. Favorite would be Rick Flag.
What?
Really?
Over Superman, huh?
Oh, Superman is just me. I'm responsible.
Okay. That's fair.
Rick Flag, I get to.
You get to have fun.
Yeah.
Director of HR.
I can empathize with that too. I usually enjoy playing the characters who are a little bit different from me. Like, I'm not actually rich in real life, so I like to splurge during like MegaCon and everything. And cosplaying the billionaires gives me some goals to work toward. Matt?
That's tough. I actually just kind of really like doing all of it, but the least favorite for
Was getting kicked in the face.
well, no, that was I got him back. That worked out. I think my least favorite are just generally speaking, the ones that Peter likes. Normally I can do stuff and I have a way of like, I find out I can kind of poke at him, and it's all, it's all in jest, but I used to love Spider-Man, like that was what I wanted to do, just Spider-Man all the time. But recently I have a kind of a tie. When we did the Power Rangers parody, I was wearing the Putty Patrol costumes, and it was really just like an extremely ADHD version of Dr. Zoidberg. So that infinite, you're just constantly, it's awesome. And it's between that one and director Zack Snyder. Just too much fun. But now with that whole thing that came out with his whole family tragedy, got it. Yeah.
Good job.
So right now I think Putty Patrol might take the win.
What about El Diablo?
Yeah, El Diablo.
That might be my least favorite.
Really?
That was fun. We got it lighter. Just, 2 lighters sometimes. A lot of makeup with a permanent marker.
Yeah. And hairspray. We used lighters and hairspray to make a little flamethrower.
Do not do that at home.
Yeah, we don't condone that kind of thing.
And those are awesome. Like, that's such a good example because we hadn't seen the movie yet. Just the trailers were out. So trying to make a movie parody based off of only a trailer is like the best system ever. Because that's where we got Rick Flag from. Which was like, probably, if you haven't seen it, not to promote our own stuff like too forward, but that's gonna be the best thing you see of all time.
Peter, what are your least favorites and most favorite?
All right, well, I don't want to say I don't like doing any of them because I find there's joy in all of them in some way. Jason always finds a way to get me into doing something I shouldn't be doing. Aquaman, I just don't care for the suit we particularly have right now. It's a little cheesy, but I do like playing the character. Favorite, that's easy. I think it'd have to be Punisher, Ray, and Doctor Strange, a 3-way tie. I just love those characters. I can have a lot of fun with them. I was Doctor Strange last night, and I have never been stopped more for pictures. I dressed as a cosplayer than last night. It was crazy. I just feel like they're unique characters. Punishers, a lot of people do Punisher, but I just like doing it in a way that's a little bit jerky and funny. I learned that from Batman.
Yeah. In terms of me, I have 3 top favorites. Batman, J. Jonah Jameson, and the Green Goblin. They're just obnoxious characters to play.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Just a bit.
In terms of least favorite, I gotta say probably the Winter Soldier. He just doesn't have as many lines to go from. And with his assassin persona, I don't know, I just kind of get depressed when I play him. He's just a little too over the edge.
Because Batman is so sunny.
Well, he's a billionaire, yeah. All right, guys. Any other questions for us? Yes, over there.
Maybe you covered this before, but how about like monetization of your channel? focus on? Do you guys just do like ad streams, or do you guys have other streams that you use to like pay yourselves?
It's traditionally been mostly through Google AdSense, the monetization through YouTube, and with more subscribers and more monthly views, that has gradually increased over time. And we've made it the agreement to keep putting those funds back into the channel, to keep taking things to the next level. That camera gear that you see over there, that's what we upgraded to several months back as a result of our hard work from the fall. We've each been upgrading different cosplays as well. I have a new Iron Man costume on the way from some of this YouTube monetization, but we were getting creative with adding some more sources of revenue to our channel. We have a booth, it is 74C in Cosplay Alley, and we are selling different t-shirts, different prints. Just keep putting it back into the channel with the revenue that we make from those. All right, next question. Sorry.
Jason.
Yeah, there it is.
Process from seeing the trailer to putting it up on the channel.
Oh, yeah. So Tia mentioned our creative process. So essentially, our process from where we see a new trailer to wanting to make fun of that, and then script writing and implementing that idea. So typically, the news outlets, they'll report that a new Spider-Man trailer is online, for instance. We'll take Spider-Man Homecoming, the newest trailers from that. So we each talk about it in the chat then. And we're like, okay, this aspect would be great to make fun of. Which characters do we need for this parody? What cosplays do we need? Do we need to purchase some costume upgrades for, say, the Vulture? Do we need to have Matt finish repairing the Spider-Man Homecoming costume because he made a cut in the zipper and it's no longer functional?
Put him in the face! I was fixing it. I still am fixing it, but I can't.
And then I take the compilation of all of the ideas that we generate, all these funny conversations that we have, and put it into writing, into the script then. Then we get together after establishing the filming date, and we stick to the script, but we welcome improvisation with that on the day of. We try to get as much done as possible in one day, but understandably, it usually takes multiple shoots for those lengthier parodies for, topics such as Spider-Man Homecoming. And then after that point, it usually takes several weeks to a month for those longer projects to finish in terms of the editing process. And then from your guys' perspectives, what other components in the process?
I love the improv. I've always been witty and I've always tried to be humorous, but I've taken it to a whole new level because of these guys. And sometimes Jason and I have filmed two-person videos where there's 20 minutes of footage. The Magneto Charles Xavier one that hasn't come out yet. That's just us talking about mutant politics and screaming at each other. And it's gonna be funny when it comes out. But there was no script. We just kept coming up with stuff, and that was fun to do. I like that.
Yeah, I gotta say, there's different styles depending on the videos. Like with the unboxing video, we literally just set up the camera in one spot and just keep going for about 10 to 20 minutes of improv. In terms of the lengthier parodies, like making fun of the actual movies, we'll get pretty in-depth with the cinematography, all types of different camera angles. I usually have different special effects in mind during the pre-production process while we're writing the script. But also in post-production, I'll think of some different special effects to add, or maybe some sound effect, or, I don't know, something just for some dramatic effect.
Two recent good examples of structuring something on paper, but then just seeing what happens is there was a Doctor Strange video where they were at a charity event, and people didn't know who Doctor Strange was, apparently.
Oh, no.
So they started making little interviews to see if people knew who he was. And that's just a great one. And then another one we did was a little hybrid of Spider-Man wanting to try to be Batman. And that was another short one that there was some pages of stuff there. We just started coming up with ideas. And then it turned out great.
That Doctor Strange video literally took about 2 seconds of decision between the two of us. When somebody came up to me and was like, "Are you Dracula?" Then somebody came up to me and said, "Are you Dr. Evil?" And I turned to Jason and I said, "We need to make a video of this." He's like, "Yeah."
Speaking of those ridiculous memories, what are some of the top, funny things or really out there things that have happened as a result of either our videos or the events that we've done together.
You know which one.
Which one? There are so many.
The Flash Batman one with the grandmas.
So we had a Meet Batman and Flash Day at the comic book shop, and we walked outside, and there were these grandmas. I'm not sure if they were sober or not, but they just pulled into these parking spaces. They parked into 3 parking spots because they parked diagonally, and they just jumped out of the car and pretty much rushed up to us. They're like, Batman, Flash, ah! And they nearly violated us. Like they're literally trying to get in my cape and everything. I was like, whoa, whoa, slow it down, I'm flattered, but cosplay does not equal consent. So we had Tia, she still had our camera. I'm like, come on, make sure that you're rolling this is gold. And actually, a few months ago, we were contacted by MTV Ridiculousness with the interest of them featuring that very clip with those grandmas hitting on us in one of their episodes. So there's possibility that it'll be featured in the second half of season 10, so look out for that.
That's why it's always a good idea to have your camera and be ready to film anything.
Yeah, you never know when some interesting characters will come in, I don't know, do something ridiculous with your own characters.
I think your helmet's falling apart.
Yeah. I'm not as rich as Batman. And Jarvis took the day off.
Stark Industries stock went down. Wayne Enterprises is up. All right, what about the rest of you guys in terms of funny happenings?
Yeah, if we're not sure about doing parodies at the moment, there's usually just like they said earlier, a lot of shtick and like skits and just trying to kind of do things. Or there's been a few ventures going off to do like special dinners, charity events, things like that. And those always often turn out being very successful for like just a lot of good reasons. You're raising money, you're doing things like that. But also just the interactions you can get with a lot of strangers who don't necessarily know that that's what they're going to be eating dinner around. Some of these restaurants hosting the events for us, not all the guests know that that's happening that night.
That didn't go the way I thought it would.
And no one knows who Hawkeye is, apparently.
He's Arrow Man.
He's almost as bad as that.
Green Arrow?
Yeah. Green Arrow?
Yeah.
You night owl?
During a few charity events, we've had to dress up as different characters. One of them was a Dawn of Justice one, where I was supposed to say a quote, and I couldn't, and the cops were like, "Are you drunk, Superman?" I just don't know, what are we doing here? And then like another charity event, same place for Civil War. It was at Uno's, we were sponsoring Civil War, and nobody knew who Hawkeye was. And they were like, one guy was like, "Are you Green Arrow?" or "Who are you supposed to be?" or it was awesome.
It was a good night.
For you guys. I'm the one holding a bow, and I'm in the Hawkeye uniform, and I'm just like, It was fun.
It's great, some of the people you get to interact with, like especially the kids sometimes, because I was Robin, and this little boy runs up to me, and he's like, "Robin, look, I can tie my shoes." And he led me down, and he showed me, and I swear my heart cracked. It was so cute.
Yeah, there are lots of those rewarding moments that come as a result of things like this. Just yesterday at our booth, there was this kid he had a Batman suit on, but he was wearing a Spider-Man mask, and just seeing his eyes light up when he saw Batman was just super rewarding. He just ran up to me, and I'm like, "All right, you look awesome, man. High five. I have a little something for you." So I reached into our bag and brought out this little plastic Batman mask. I'm like, "Here you go, son. You're trading up." So we did. He's like, "All right, Dad, you're downgrading. You're gonna wear the Spider-Man mask. Sorry, Matt."
He ripped that mask off too. Like as soon as Jason handed him the Batman mask, he was just like, "Phew."
We saw him like 2 hours later, 3 hours later, and he was still wearing the mask, so it meant something to him. So it's cool.
The cooler character needs to be shared with everybody.
Exactly, especially when you're Batman.
Right.
I can't smile, this mustache will fall off.
Oh yeah. So there's some struggles that come with cosplays, especially with mustaches. Tomorrow I'm being J. Jonah Jameson. Traditionally, I've worn a mustache like that in doing that character, but it just falls off constantly. Like the stickiness just wears down throughout the course of the day, and it makes it impossible to eat or drink anything. So I made a decision to just pretty much use makeup to get the mustache on. Just more user-friendly. All right, question back over here.
Yeah, how do you guys grow your online presence? I know you guys work a little bit with YouTube, but where else are you guys located?
We use multiple venues on social media to complement the YouTube presence. We use a lot of Instagram and Facebook especially. A little bit of Twitter, but honestly, I just use that to spam our links to the stars of the action movies, like Ben Affleck, watch this. Hopefully they'll retweet it. James Gunn actually retweeted our Guardians of the Galaxy parody though, so we're very happy about that, that he gave us, in a way, a little thumbs of approval for that. Usually us just tagging each other in our photos that we post on Facebook, on Instagram, promoting our various events too. Like Peter makes flyers for our different events at Vera Comics coming up. For events like this, we post event pages on the Make Up My Films channel or the Vera Comics channel. Just invite all of our friends, tell them to invite their friends, or say, hey, do you want to be part of this video? Let's get you involved then. All right, guys, we're gonna be wrapping up. Let's take one last question. You back over there, sir.
What's the most complicated skit parody that you've done, from storyboarding to editing to setup?
The most complex one.
Civil War, because we had to switch characters.
Yeah, Civil War is one of the most complex ones that we did because we each played at least a double role, if not a triple role in that one. Yeah, 4 in some cases. And especially if someone had another event going on, then we, coordinate, okay, figure out who else can play that character and stand in. And actually the shot that we were all running at each other, Team Cap versus Team Iron Man, each of us had to do the costume change for that shot specifically. And I had to know in advance, okay, this is what the choreography is gonna look like. If I frame it this way with the angles, it'll actually look like these are separate people running at each other, as opposed to just all of us running off screen at nothing. So really just getting creative with what we have, maximizing our resources, and pretty much just going to. I'd say that's the best way to get through some of these more complex projects. And you learn what works over time too. Say if something, fell through the cracks during one parody, that tells us how we can take it to the next level in the next parody. It's really just a learning process. Like, you never stop learning with every single project. As long as you're dedicated, you'll make it through and you'll figure out how to get through those hurdles with each individual video. You have anything else to add to that?
Yeah. All the happy accidents.
Yeah, all the happy accidents
like
that happen.
When Suicide Squad, Kyle was doubling as Batman, and he was carrying Harley unconscious to the Batmobile, which was this cart. And while he was carrying her, he's in a full Batman costume, she's Harley. He's setting her in the trunk of this car while a car drives by. So this car's watching him and he's just kind of, how's it going? He's loading this unconscious girl into a car. So it's one of those that it just happens. And you don't really plan it, and it's the best thing.
That's still one of my favorite moments from that Suicide Squad parody. It's always those accidental things that are usually the funniest to me as well. All right, guys. Well, this concludes our YouTube panel. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you guys very much for your support. I'm Batman, and I want you to tell all your friends about us. Subscribe to Make 'Em Laugh Films, and come see our booth in Cosplay Alley at 74C. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much again.